Alright guys, we're back. Take 3. Thanks to Ellie.
I'm starting a new series called Top 5 Mistakes I See E-Collar Trainers Make. And this isn't directed at anybody in particular, you guys. And I more than anything, want people to be successful with this tool. I mean, it is the most fascinating training tool on the planet. But I see, certain mistakes being made over and over again. And, if you really ask the people the origin of this, it's... what people need to understand is really e-collar training. It's still in its, if it's even in its early adolescence, we're lucky. It's certainly not, even in the journeyman phase maybe. So what I see people not doing is not hooking the leash to electronic collar because they've been told, that will cause sores on their neck, or that will make the pressure of the stimulus uneven. Yeah, that's why you do want to do it. You want to be able to augment any pressure that dog put on the leash. And we don't do it with the continuous, only in a rare situation, but down. That's how they're going to understand it's the leash doing it. That's how you're going to create a visible leash, by hooking it on there. It doesn't cause sores on their neck. It teaches them to give into the pressure of the leash very, very quickly, so that way you can factor out the leash. The second thing I see is people not using treats, not utilizing food drive. And, the Europeans are much more, in tune with that kind of thing than we are. I mean, they've got much, their methodologies that they use over there are in the, the skilled craftsman stage. So, yes, you've got to use food if you want animated dogs. Dogs that are not trained with food don't make eye contact and they lack animation. That's just what it is. The other thing is people want to honestly believe that their physical petting is a reward to the dog. They've got the head barrel rub, the thump, the tap, the pat, the jiggle. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. And if you really took clips of those dogs being subjected to this, it is not, there's some, that maybe kind of like it. That Great Dane we had kind of liked it, but, you've got to factor out physical petting, partly because, one, they don't want that, but two, down, good. It just, it's not that word I had, obfuscate, but, if the dog could talk, it might suspect you of doing that, because that I know of dogs are not going to barrel into you, the way Bara and the way this dog, and all these dogs that we do the recall are. If they think that the reward is you doing all these things, to them that's almost initiating play. You know what I mean? So the other thing, and you guys know I'm a rabbit about this one, is people just not using the pager. People believing that using stimulus to communicate with the dog is better than using a pager. The pager came out in 1997. That's what it was designed for. So to say we're going to use stimulus to communicate before there was a pager, there was no other choice. That's what we all did. Everybody did that. So that kind of boils down to, and I can assure you, Jim and Phyllis have got to be discouraged that that this is not, I don't even know if Phyllis goes on YouTube, but, that it's not more considered the norm than people that would try to ram down your throat that using stimulus to communicate, and that they have the level of skill, and that their clients have the level of skill that it takes to manipulate a dog with electric stimulus. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. You can do everything with the pager, and look. You can do everything with the pager, and it's chemically and physically different to the dog. It's not the stimulus is contracting their muscles, and people say, well, at the higher level. No, at every level. That's how they feel it. It's giving them a sensation. Yes, they're feeling something. That's how it doesn't matter what level it's on. That's how they're feeling it. It's contracting their muscle. That is causing chemicals to be released. This doesn't do that. Anyway, guys, I don't know if that was 5, but if not, we'll come back for the other one. Bye, you guys.